The USS Drexler, a naval destroyer, met its tragic fate in the very year it was launched, a poignant reminder of the tumultuous times during World War II. The story intertwines with that of Haj Fuji, a man who made an unimaginable sacrifice. He traded his family, his wife and 2 daughters, for the chance to become a kamikaze pilot, a decision that would lead him to the brink of despair. In the late 1930s, specifically by 1938, the United States was a key supplier of vital resources to Japan, providing a significant portion of its iron, copper, and oil. However, as Japan's aggressive military expansion in China began in 1937, tensions escalated. The U.S. felt compelled to act, not only to curb Japan's militaristic ambitions, but also to safeguard China's sovereignty, given the partnership between the two nations. Consequently, the U.S. made the difficult decision to halt the flow of oil to Japan, a move that would have dire repercussions. The situation reached a boiling point when Japan launched a surprise aerial attack on Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, on December 7, 1941. President Roosevelt's announcement of the bombing sent shockwaves across the nation. The attack inflicted severe damage on approximately 300 U.S. aircraft and resulted in the loss of 2,403 American lives. The American public was left in disbelief and outrage, prompting the United States to declare war on Japan the very next day, effectively entering World War II. Despite Japan's initial successes, the harsh reality was that it could not sustain its military efforts against America's formidable industrial capabilities. A series of catastrophic defeats against the Allies left Japan struggling to replenish its fleet of ships and planes, and the country faced a critical shortage of experienced pilots. In a desperate bid to turn the tide, the Japanese military resorted to creating special attack forces, known as kamikaze units, comprising both Army and Navy personnel, willing to undertake suicidal missions. Haj Fuji was not merely a passive observer. He aspired to join these elite units and actively train young people to adopt the mindset necessary for such dangerous missions. However, his aspirations were met with rejection. The military deemed it unwise to send a family man like him on a one-way mission, as most kamikaze pilots were single. This decision weighed heavily on Haj, especially as he witnessed many of his students leave for their final flights, never to return. He grappled with feelings of betrayal, torn between his duty as an educator and his desire to serve his country. Haj's wife, Fukuko, found herself in a heartbreaking dilemma. On one hand, if Haj remained in Japan, he would be present for their daughters and provide for his family. On the other hand, his absence would lead to a haunting sense of betrayal that could consume him. As Haj's internal struggle deepened, Fukuko, concerned for her husband's mental state, urged him to focus on his family. Yet the shadow of guilt and involuntarily, the fear of becoming a ghost, a dim spirit in Japanese culture, loomed over Haj. On December 14, 1944, while her husband was away, Fukuko made a harrowing decision. She dressed herself and their 2 daughters in their finest kimonos and penned a letter to Haj, encouraging him to fulfill his duty to the country and reassuring him that they would wait for his return. In a tragic act of despair, she tied her wrist to that of their 3-year-old daughter, Kazuko, and jumped into the frigid waters of the Arakawa River. Their bodies were discovered later that day, leaving Haj devastated. In his grief, Haj wrote a heartfelt letter to his eldest daughter, pleading for her to care for her mother and younger sister until he could reunite with them. In a desperate act of devotion, he performed yubitsume, the ritual of cutting off his pinky finger to express his commitment to the cause, using his own blood to write one final appeal to the military. By February 8, 1945, Haj had risen to the rank of commander of the 45th Shimo Squadron, which he named Kaien Kin, meaning cheerful spirit. Just before dawn on May 28th, the squadron set out on a fateful mission, targeting U.S. battleships. They encountered the USS Drexler and the USS Lowry, 2 formidable vessels of the American fleet. In a moment of grim fulfillment, 2 of their planes crashed into the Drexler, sinking her within minutes and claiming the lives of 158 crew members. In that final act of sacrifice, Haj Fuji achieved his desire to reunite with his family, finding peace in the knowledge that they were together again, even if only in spirit. In a tragic twist of fate, he became part of the very legacy he had strived to uphold, a poignant reminder of the profound human cost of war.